Hey.
Something's loose on my bike.
Where at?
Up here.
All right, well, show me.
So, when I move the front, it moves more than it's supposed to.
Yep, I see that. That's a loose headset. And on this week's tech tip, we're gonna show you how to fix it. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do this. So let's talk about what a headset is exactly. On most modern mountain bikes now, they use what's called a threadless headset. And what that is on your fork, come closer, I'll show you. There's a bearing at the bottom and at the top, and there's a steerer tube that runs all the way through from the fork to the top. Now what happens is this cap compresses everything together and takes out any kind of play that's in our headset assembly. And over time, that's just going to work loose, and that's going to have a little bit of play in it over time. So it needs to be adjusted. Now, if there's any kind of notchiness to the steering or kind of noise, then yes, we're going to need to take it apart. We're going to need to actually perform a full service. But if we just need to get rid of a little bit of play, this is how you do that. All right, now I'm going to have Sean take us through the steps. So to do a headset adjustment, you're going to need, at a minimum, a 4mm and a 5mm. Now that size might vary depending on the bike you've got, but most of them, that's what it needs. All right, so you'll see Sean here has
This, a 4mm.
Let's call it a 3-way.
I'll tell you that.
So it has a 4, a 5, and a 6mm wrench on it. So it's going to cover everything we need. The other thing that is nice to have is a torque wrench or a torque driver. This one's made by Pedro's, and this one is a 5mm torque driver, which is what this calls for. So what we're going to do is first we're going to go ahead and loosen our 4mm cinch bolts on each side. There you go. Loosen the other side now. That side loose, yep. That's good. And now what we need to do is to get rid of the play that is in here, we need to tighten our steering cap, our steer tube cap, to take up any excess play that's in here. So go ahead and put your 5mm in here, Sean. And we're going to slowly tighten that up. And as we tighten it, we're going to tighten a little bit. And then we're going to stop and we're going to check our steering. So go ahead and see the steering's still nice and smooth. All right, still feels good. How about the play? Play feels pretty good. And we're going to keep doing that until we get all the play out of it. But we want to make sure the steering still is nice and smooth. Now go ahead and tighten it really good. Like super hard, because I want to show them what happens when you do that. That's good. Now, when you tighten it too much, what happens is the steering gets really stiff, because what we're doing is we're putting too much preload on the bearings in there. So, all right, Sean, we want to back that off a little bit. That's good right there. A little more, actually, right there. And you'll see now it moves nice and smooth. And once that's done, we need to go back and we need to tighten up our 4mm nuts. So tighten those down a little bit, and you need to, on this type of stem, you need to alternate from one side to the other, because if you take a look, you'll see how there's one bolt on the right side, one bolt on the left side. As you tighten one side, it's actually going to take up the slack on the other side as well, so you've got to alternate back and forth. You can't just tighten one and then be done, so you got to do both of them. So go ahead and tighten that up until you've got some resistance on there, Sean. Other way. Righty, tighty, lefty, loosey, my friend. There you go. One more on that side. All right. Okay. Now we need our handy dandy torque driver. So here you go, Sean. And the torque driver is great because there's no settings. It's preset from the factory. And you can buy them in 4, 5, 6 Newton meters. All you do is put that in there and you tighten until it starts to click. Just keep on going. Yep, keep going. Perfect. One more click. Do it again. And you'll see what happens is it actually slips. So you can't over tighten it. Then we go to the other side. Come on. There we go. One more click. All right, and then we're gonna go right back to the right side one more time, because again, as we tighten one side, it's putting more pressure on it. It's taking up the slack. So go ahead and do it one more time for me. There we go. All right, all set. And that is how we tighten the headset. Now check it out, make sure it works. So we got it out of the stand. We take a look. We make sure that our steering is nice and center again. That looks good. Grab that front brake, Sean. Shake it back and forth for us. You'll see there's no more play there. Ready to go. All right, test ride time. As you can see, Sean's out making sure the bike's got no more squeaks, rattles, clunks, or anything like that. That's it for Tech Tip Wednesday. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to comment. And if you have something you want to see, let us know. Maybe we'll shoot a video on it. Thanks. We'll see you next week. Bye.